So before I start the session, I would request all the participants to mute themselves and thank you so much. Thank you so much. So very good morning to one and all. Myself Karthikeya Kumar and I'm from Hyderabad. So today we have a topic called Today we have a topic called SLOT, that is skill learning opportunity and technology. Because when we speak about this skill learning opportunity and technology, there are a lot of aspects that come into the picture. We are going to speak about skills, skill gap. What are the different types of skills that are required in each and every industry today? Because the industry is fastly growing, and there are a lot of different verticals that have started coming into this particular industry domain, and many of us feel like, okay, according to me skill is just only this one what I know. So either a partial set of I should say only a limited partial set of soft skills that we talk about, or a very limited set of hard skills that we talk about. But with respect to every single profession what we have today in the market, we have different sets of skills that are going to play a major role, rather that will take a vast place. Because nowadays I see, because of this pandemic situation, there is a lot of I mean there were a lot of changes happening, and even the changes would keep happening for the next few years. Entire things are going to be on digital platform. Now the biggest challenge here is how effectively or how impressively we are going to tackle this particular online platform, and how is that we will be in a position to actually know how to take the online classes. Because many of us like me, see, I've been there in this profession for the last 16 plus years now. And apart from this, when I don't mention even my experience, I met people who have been who have been there in various other professions for the last more than 20, 30 years. The one thing what I would like to tell today is, the people who have been working for the last 30, 40 years, or whatever the number of years it is, it's all the past. The analysis what we do is only about the past. Now what analytics can we do about the future is the question. What sort of predictions, what sort of interpretations? Because being a data analytic person and a cybersecurity person, I speak mostly on a analytics part rather than an analysis part. Analysis is something done where we actually try to speak about the things that have already happened. We collect the data, we speak about the data, and we work on it. But with the existing data what we have and the information what we are going to collect, we need to predict what our future is exactly going to be. So in this particular context, I felt like speaking more about skills or skill gaps is the most important thing. Because today when we observe in many of the colleges, schools across various industry verticals, there are a lot of people with a vast experience, but when it comes to the usage of platforms like Zoom or Cisco WebEx, or even delivering sessions on any such platform, they're facing a lot of challenges. Today, I'm actually there here on Zoom, parallelly running the session on YouTube. I didn't change any of my platforms till now, because whatever the platforms we use today, that should be very user friendly. Now, when it comes to skilling, a lot of us define the word skill in a different way. The image what we see on the screen speaks about skill. One should have a good knowledge. One should be good at learning. Everything is a skilling. Should be good at training. We see ample number of trainers growing during this pandemic. Lot of trainers. We see that ample number. In a day, I meet at least 40 to 60 trainers, and they call me, they talk to me, they say that we would like to be a part of this. We would like to deliver a session. Absolutely, I'm welcoming everyone. But before I welcome everyone onto a global platform, I will give a plan. I have created another platform called 21st Century Speakers, where it is like a net practice. I never suspect anyone's experience. I don't say that he is not a great speaker or I'm not a great speaker. I'm also just a speaker. I deliver the sessions, I deliver the talks. I've done this globally, not only just here. Now the challenge is, what are the things that we are going to learn when we are delivering a talk? What are the skills one should possess when you are to be a trainer? What are the skills one need to have when you are a teacher? What are the skills one need to have if you are a marketing professional? So for every profession, there is a tagline called skill. What is the skill? How do we gain it? That's the most important question today. Skill is something which we have been already gaining since many, many, many years. The only way is how rightly we are learning something, how rightly we are implementing something, how rightly we are getting adapted to something, and how rightly we are presenting something is a question. Everybody speaks a lot, but how rightly we speak is the question. So when we look at the type of skills in general, whatever we know till now, I mean, number one, in terms of you take it as a part of soft skills or overall skills. Everyone says, okay, you should be a very very active listener. Yes, absolutely, one should be a very very active listener, because when I'm saying something, if somebody is not listening to that, and when I ask a question, they should not say like, what did you say just now, or sorry sir, I did not understand, or sorry sir, I did not hear what you get, I mean what you said just now. So it's always very important to know that we should be speaking what we are trying to say. We should be very clear, I mean, what we are trying to deliver. And at the same time, we should be also be very careful in terms of listening to what others are saying. If we feel like, okay, something is going on, it's okay. When they question me, I'll look at it. Then we are not active listeners. We are just pretending listeners, or we are just trying to hear to something, which is where we don't pay any focus. The main purpose of all this, see, I'll tell you why active listening is so important. The generation has changed, the entire things are on a digital era. No, it's not like a physical classroom or a training room or a boardroom where you can see one on one to each other, and you can start understanding others feelings by observing them very closely and then modulating the things. It's not going to happen here. You have a certain time frame, you have a certain limited set of people, you have certain set of infrastructure, limited infrastructure. Okay, few may not be on video, few may be on video, few may not be interested to show themselves. Lot many challenges. What is the best way? You be an active listener. One needs to be a very, very, very good active listener, unless or until they feel like there is some technology interruption. Because when we don't listen it properly, there are very, very less chances that you will get a re-explanation on it. Nowadays, this is what happening in most of the schools. I keep listening to a lot of children saying, my teacher says something I cannot understand, but when I ask, he will not answer. My next question is, what were you trying to do when he's saying something? Were you actively listening? In case if you have a doubt, then and there, did you raise the question or did you wait till the last? So timing is also very, very, very important when we are trying to understand how exactly to listen to something. Number two, when I say communication. No, if you are a good listener, that's good, undoubtedly. But what if you are not a good communicator? If you are not a good communicator, if I'm not trying to communicate with people on a professional line, if I don't know how to deliver something, if I don't know how to speak something to someone, if I don't know how to put the things in a professional manner, if I don't know how to convey an information, if I don't know how to write, read, email etiquettes, then all my communication is absolutely into a trouble. People feel like, okay, this fellow is just trying to speak, but he's not confident of what he's trying to, and he's not even able to deliver the things properly. It's very very important to have a good grip or a knowledge on the language what we are trying to speak. The basic problem with many of the speakers, or those who feel like they can say anything, the basic concern is language and the pronunciation. They don't open the mouth, they just do a ventriloquism. They just lip lock, and I mean, like, they just close the lips and it will be locked like this and say, hello, how are you doing today, I'm going trying to help you all on this. It's not going to work with us. We need to open up, we need to ensure we are absolutely trying to open the mouth and use the tone, vocal energy, everything very clearly. We cannot just say that I'm absolutely good in communication. One should say that they are good in communication only when someone says we could we could reach, I mean, we could get whatever you're trying to say, we understood it very clearly. That means in all the factors your communication was absolutely fantastic. You could deliver the things the way it should be delivered. The first two factors what I'm discussing now are the very very important factors in an interview, because you must have dressed very good, you must have prepared very well, you must have carried all the certificates, your body language is absolutely good, fantastic, everything in place. But now when it comes to active listening and communication, the moment we open the mouth and we try to speak something, we try to say something, that's when the actual versions come outside. The actual versions come. Now the people will understand, okay, there is a slang, there is a mother tongue influence, there is a rate of speech issue, there are a lot of other factors which will impact, and the biggest factor is English. Because we respect our mother tongue, it doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that we should not respect any other language. Global mother tongue is English. Wherever you want to work across the globe, the only way you can communicate is only using English. But if that English is not good, if we cannot communicate well with that, then nobody can understand this. I mean, it would be a tough time for all of us to get a job opportunity, or rather to get into a system where we should feel, I mean, we feel like working with them. So that's very important, that we should get to know how exactly we should speak, right? And you know what, I mean, communication only happens only, you know, when a person is opening up, coming forward, stepping forward and say, I should speak or I will speak. The basic lacking thing in this particular generation with many students is participation. People are not ready to participate. They just focus on northeast, west, south. They feel like others, I mean, they just think about others and they don't speak up. It's your life, it's your job. Computer skills, we'll speak about it. Customer service, yes. Interpersonal skills, that's again very, very, very important. When two people are talking to each other, it's very important to know how good are they. You mean, you can observe how good are they in interpersonal skills, like how do they communicate with each other, how do they convey the information, how are they treating others, what are the ways how we should be. I mean, when we talk about the general skills I'm talking about, leadership, yes, leadership is absolutely an important factor. In a college, in a school, you may be a class leader or a CR. In an organization, you'll be a team leader or any other senior role. But the biggest challenge comes only when you take the characteristic of a leader. I mean, like, you become the character called leader, because there are also okay, lot of challenges which comes when you become a leader. Because I'm still experiencing the challenges. I'm still experiencing a lot of challenges from my teams in various levels. Okay, when we conduct a team meeting, people will not turn up. When we ask something, people will not speak up. When you propose something, people will not accept. When you're even silent, a lot of troubles will be created. Now, as a leader, how is that you're going to handle all these things is one of the biggest skill. Now, just today morning, I was having a call with one of the HR from unknown company in India, and along with that, I got to know that Virtusa is conducting an internship. I mean, sorry, a recruitment process where they are conducting an exam for a latest topic called neural hacking. Neural hacking is something where, I mean, as a cybersecurity expert, I can understand what exactly is neural hacking. So I was having a discussion with a couple of TPOs just before this session has started. Neural hacking is something which has already been there since many, many days. If you have observed a movie called Sixth Sense, this has already come long back. Sixth Sense movie has got this concept of neural hacking. Neural network or neural hacking is something which deals with the brain mapping and brain tapping. So we are going to speak about it at the end, because the reason why I said this, everyone needs to know. I mean, everyone needs to have different skills, but when you become a leader, this has to work very smart, and the brain needs to work very accurate. Now, it all depends how you manage or manipulate your team, how you go with your team. Because nowadays, I mean, let me take this 2 minutes for a neural thing. Because I see a lot of people saying, like, my son got addicted to gaming, my family members got addicted to gaming, they're getting addicted to a lot of websites. Trust me, it is a technology that is being used by the companies to create such an addiction. There are certain games which you cannot play all alone, where you need a team. There are certain games which you cannot take part, where you need to buy something, pay something and do. And there are certain games where you need to use such headsets, I mean, which actually starts creating disruption in the mind, and they create a different altogether. I'm like, the mind works totally different. You cannot imagine how it works. The reason why I'm telling all these things is I have seen some live cases. Even after the cybersecurity police and many people have warned not to download any games at this particular point of time and don't play, they have given the list of games also. People have downloaded it, and today they are losing lakhs of money from their accounts. This is just because people are not so serious. Their brain is already tapped. They already got mapped with something. They cannot live without gaming. Why people were dying when they are trying to do, when they don't get that game available? How many went mad when TikTok got banned? All these things happen just because of this technology. So this we are going to discuss on other session. The reason why I said all these things is, when you become a leader, you should be very smart. And you should also be very, very rigid at times. Like you should know how to handle whom. There will be male and female. There will be tough and easy. There will be different sets of people in the team. What is your skill to manage everyone in the team? How is that you are going to ensure that everyone are going to be there in the team, and because of any new person, there are no troubles going to come in? Yesterday, we were discussing about a team called Meeting of Minds, which was headed by J. Chaudhary sir in 2018. We had a great travel along with him, along with almost close to 100 plus, 70 to 100 plus mentors. We have, I mean, even today we have Komla ma'am here with us, and we also have some more people coming in. Now, the team, which was entirely led by one individual in 2018, he has been consistently maintaining the team even till today, because he know who's what and who should be dealt like what. And even the team members know how should we to be in the team. We don't speak something unnecessary. We don't speak something which is not really, I mean, matching to the situation. So when you are in a team, when you are a leader, it is very important, the most important skill, because you need to know how to manage people. That's a very toughest thing. Even if you're at home, you're a leader. At home, you're a leader. Now, how do you manage your family? How do you manage your kids? How do you avoid them not to buy everything? There are a lot of things that one needs to have skill on this. The next factor, the next factor goes here: management skills and problem solving skills. Now, management skills, I'm very much sure people are very good in managing a lot of things in this generation when compared with the previous generation. We know how to handle a situation. We know how to, get the things done for that particular moment and how to get out of it. Problem solving is again the same. See, problem solving, if you're really good at problem solving today, you can be a wonderful data analytic expert, or even into cyber security as an expert, because data analytics is one of the most leading field. Data science, data analytics, machine learning, and all this, where you have a lot of math, where you have a lot of mathematical algorithms and statistical algorithms, and where you can do a lot of predictions. One, seriously, there are a lot of things to do. Problem solving skill is very important in every aspect. We just need to know how to handle it. So every skill, whatever I listed out here, is what we generally get to know about. I mean, like, this is what we completely listen. Okay, these are the only skills: soft skills or interpersonal skills or leadership or management, blah blah blah. Most of the time we consider all these things as soft skills. Computer skills comes under hard skills. That's again a different aspect altogether. Now, when we look at the other aspects, now we are going to get into the actual set of skills, as which are more than 100 plus skills that are needed in various industries. Before that, before that, see, these are some of the top skills one needs to have on their resume. When I say that, on the resume, yesterday Venkat sir was discussing, and even we had suggestions from Komala ma'am, Sanjay sir, and everyone. So you need to put on your resume, like, in terms of teamwork, what are you good at? In terms of leadership, how do you handle? In terms of communication, in terms of hard skills like computer skills, in terms of time management, what are we really good at on all these factors? Are we really going to handle all these on a better line? Do we really know that we can do this? So there are a lot many factors that are here. We'll discuss one by one. Now, this is a one big question which I always keep getting: skill gap. So skill gap has always been there since many years. I mean, like, for many of the students today, there were many faculty or students who were complaining me, or rather discussing with me, saying like, sir, our students are not getting jobs. Our students are not getting placements. We are not getting opportunity to help our students to get into a job industry. Who said that we cannot get a job option? Who says that? Because every student has an option even today to get into a job, I mean, any industry. The only challenge is the skill gap. Because of this skill gap, because of this particular skill gap, so many working professionals are also losing jobs. Why does a skill gap usually come in? See, when we say generally about skill gap, the difference between skills required for a job and the employers actually possesses. Now, for example, I've been working with a company called K3 Consultants, and they expect me to be taking care of HR, recruitment, and the learning and development activities. Now, the technology is booming. Now, they expect me to use some advanced tools to deliver all these things. And they also expect me to be there on different social media platforms and ask me like, okay, Karthik, you need to deliver the session on this, you need to deliver the session on this, etc., etc., etc. Now the question is, if I am not ready, okay, uh, for this particular topics, like if I say like, no, I don't know how to deliver anything over YouTube, or if I don't know anything how to deliver on a Zoom, they say like, Karthik, thank you very much for your services. Either you get upskilled or upgraded, or you can leave. We'll have someone in your place. This is one of the reason many people are losing the job opportunities today, and that's the only factor. Now, why the students will not get jobs is very simple, because people think that I'm able to do everything, but are they really learning what exactly the industry is looking for? Today today when I look at the factors, when the teachers, I mean, when the TPOs and the couple of faculty called me today morning to discuss about neural hacking, they were telling like, we don't have anyone who can help me to teach all these things. I mean, there is nobody who can help them to, at that particular point of time, they never heard of this word. Even students are saying like, what is neural hacking? We know ethical hacking and all these things. It's equally the responsibility of every student over here and everywhere to keep researching. When we research a lot of things on YouTube, Google, and Instagram, or any social media, why can't we research the same and identify where do we stand exactly and what do we do? It's not just like Ramon sir says, it's not degree ready. Even I have a degree, everyone has a degree. The companies are not just going to speak about how many degrees or graduations or post graduations you have. Now there is a wonderful website I have typed on uh, you know the chat window, 123test.com. This is a website where I have assessed myself. It has given me an analytical report about my entire profile. There were about 120 plus questions. It says, Karthik, you're not good in this, you're good in this area, you're strong in this, you're weak in this. It analyzes everything. It completely analyzes and it says, okay, this is what we are supposed to do, these are the areas you need to improve. So that means skill gap is still existing. My dear friends, if you would like to grow, if you would like to get a job as early as possible, identify where you stand and what the industry is looking for and what is the gap in between and how can you fill that gap. What are the things that you need to know? The biggest challenge with people these days is they say like, we wanted to learn everything, but we don't want to pay for anything. Then there are certain websites where you can learn for free, but are we doing it? That's the biggest question. The companies have slowly started hiring people now. All of a sudden, if the market opens, trust me, out of the entire crowd who are sitting today, only 2% or maximum 4% will be ready to get into the industry. In a college with 5,000 students or 2,000 students, only 10% are participating in hackathons or coding contests. What is happening to the rest of the people? If it is a management college, only 2 to 4% are again participating only in public events or man meets, everything. What is happening to the rest of the students? These are the platforms which will help any individual to improve their skills, fill that gap by learning from others, and then come up with a wonderful output where that helps you to get a job. But are we really doing it? That's the one question everyone needs to think about. Now, going to the next slide, I don't know how many of you have seen these monitors. I started working with the last CPU one, which you see here. From this type of CPU till today, I started using, and many of us must have used it. Now, when we look at all these things, the title clearly says why yesterday's skills aren't enough to survive in today's digital transformation. If I still speak about Windows 95 or Windows 98 or Windows 3.1 or maximum Windows 2000 with Microsoft Office 95, imagine the people will look at you from top to bottom and think to which generation you belong to. If I say I don't know what is Zoom, if I say I don't know what is a YouTube, or if I say I don't have a Facebook account, people will look at you very weird. What are the technology skills we have today in the market and where are we standing? Is our great old knowledge suitable for today's generation? I had my engineering way back in 2004. Then we studied only MATLAB, digital image processing, C, C++, Java. Are they only sufficient? Yes. Even today, if you want to get into cybersecurity, if you want to get into web analytics, if you want to become a web designer, If you want to become an information security analyst or information security specialist, you can still survive with C, C++, Java, and operating systems, computer organization, all these engineering subjects knowledge. But my question here is, what are the advancements in these areas, and to what extent are we with those advancements? Are we really sticking to that advancements? Even today, a lot of web applications are developed only using Java, HTML on the back end. Like if you are with C, C++, you can write analytics, you can run SQL, everything. You don't need to think about MongoDB or anything. You can still work with SQL for SQL injection. But the only thing is the process procedure have changed. Terminologies are the same, the headings are the same, applications are the same. But to what extent did we change is the question. Now let us see here. Especially when I say, I don't want to say particularly soft skills, but these are some of the factors where skill gaps are existing. There are people who lost jobs who are unprofessional. Unprofessional in the sense, people are not so much interested to actually, okay, people are not so much interested to actually be professional at workplace or in college. Nowadays, yesterday, day before yesterday, we had a meeting from Sujata ma'am, and even yesterday after the call, we had a call discussion with the Venkat sir. Nowadays, when you look at the college students, the kind of dressing they come up with, the kind of attires they wear, the kind of socks and shoe they wear, the kind of hairstyles they have are really, really unprofessional. I don't know why colleges won't object on this, but is that the way how we come is a question. The same they are trying to follow for a multinational company, and they are not able to change. And that's when people are found to be unprofessional and taking out, I mean, losing their jobs in terms of dress management, unprofessional in terms of people management. How are we supposed to talk to people? Are we really wishing every single faculty of ours whom we see in the college? Do we really respect our teachers? Is a question. Tomorrow, when you start working in a company, you will even find a CEO walking right in front of you. Just a very good morning. Just say hello. There is nothing wrong in it. And if you just don't say anything and keep walking away, remember that you are being observed by many people. And tomorrow, when you sit in the same meeting with the CEO or with your teacher, the treatment will be totally different. Be a professional. Have some self awareness. What am I supposed to be? How should I behave? How should I come? Many don't hold themselves accountable. If something goes wrong, they feel like, no, no, it's not my responsibility. I did not do this. I'm sorry. I'm not responsible for it. If we are not responsible, then who is responsible? Who is going to hold the accountability for this? Who will be the one who did the mistake? If someone commented in the class, that's that fellow's accountability, and he has to take that pain and punishment. Similarly, there are a lot of other factors which are getting accountable, and many need to have attitude adjustment. See, I mean, the people who work with Indian army, they have a different attitude. The people who work with police, they have a different attitude. The one who works in every different profession, they have different attitude. We can modify the things, we can change the things, we can adjust the things, but the only thing is how far, to what extent we can try to, we can try to just completely change our attitude. Number one, I mean, and the next one, most of the people's working habits are terrible. These are really going to be a very big problem, and don't have people skills, people management. That's a very toughest thing. They don't know how to greet, how to speak, how to behave with. And many don't know how to learn or communicate. Many don't know how to even learn or communicate with anyone. See, this is what happens. People are just drawing on the screens. See, I mean, when we really get some sort of real-time examples at times where we need to really feel very bad about it. There were many sessions where I was really disturbed because of the participants, and I had to leave the session. And next one, many don't know how to learn or communicate without checking a device. When I sent a message on WhatsApp, okay, many people don't have the habit of regularly checking the messages, and they call back and say, I was expecting your message. They don't check emails. They don't check WhatsApp. They don't check SMS. They unnecessarily respond for it. Many lack critical thinking, problem respecting authority. I mean, problems with respecting the authority. I mean, how should you respect others? You need not salute everyone. At least you say a warm good morning. You respond to what speakers are saying. I mean, that's one another important factor what we can. Now here goes, from here we'll continuously see what are the various skills and demanded soft skills in the industry. First, time management, effective communication, emotional intelligence, problem solving, whatever you see on the screen today are the highly demanded skills that are really needed for an individual to be a part of the industry. If we don't have even one of these factors, that means we are lacking something very seriously. Now, marketing skills. Those who are into marketing from MBA background, I mean, at this point of time, many people are turning out from a techie to a marketing profession just that they need to survive. This areas are something where I'm currently dealing with the data analytics and web analytics. This is one of the strongest area where there is a high demand in the industry today, where this SEO and SEM is something you use for digital analytics. I mean, digital marketing rather. WordPress, where people do the blogging, email marketing, web scraping, all the things, search engine and keyword optimization. If I have to have my business on the top in Google and I need to get maximum hits for it or likes for it, visitors for my website, what is that I need to do is the next question. So like this, we have lot of things coming in here. Now, project or campaign management. Now, the biggest challenge what I'm facing today, even in terms of this particular area, marketing, is I'm not getting a right person who can be a very good project manager, who can do the marketing of my or a campaigning of the projects or sessions that are going to come up. My, see, from tomorrow onwards, there are a series of technology sessions happening on artificial intelligence, data science, SaaS, everything. We are going to come up with very advanced topics. The challenge is, are we really there to reach everyone? When you're not able to reach, that means you need someone who can make it more better. The challenge is, who is going to make it more better? I have taken more than 150 plus interviews till now for various students, and the unfortunate thing is, I'm not able to get the people even today. I'm running the entire thing with two people. I have two girls in the team and they are entirely running the show. And one who already spoke to you, Sangeeta, and there is another person on the back end. These are the two people who are running the entire show for me, even when I don't speak about it. And someone has a question on the chat. Right. So the biggest challenge is because marketing, as people think, it's never so easy, my dear friends. Okay, marketing needs to be done very professionally. We should promote ourselves very professionally. We should speak to anyone in such a way that everyone loves to stay with us. They should love to work with us. That's how we should speak. It's not like, okay, just try to take it, give, please. No, no, nothing as such. I don't do any such marketing. I'm ready to sit silent, but I don't want to get out of something, step out of something and then say, okay, try to get this done. You just impress anyone with your skills of speaking, with your work, with your projects. And that's what marketing is. Even today, I'm searching for people who can be very good in terms of campaign management, in terms of marketing for all my projects, because we are going to come up with a huge team. So the only lacking factor is we need people. We also have some more things. See, consumer behavior, brand management. Brand management is another biggest challenge. Today, it's a big business. So how can we improve brand? What type of people are there who can improve the branding? Many people said like, we can work for you, we can pull the people. Yesterday I given an assignment to a guy who said, he called from Rajahmundry, said, sir, I have a marketing experience of 7 years, I'll work for you, I'll get the students for your training. I gave him an assignment, just tell me how many people can join today for my session. I have a session at 11:30. And he says, sir, I'll ensure that you will get at least 70 to 75 people. And the biggest part is, till now even he did not join the session. The reason is, it's very easy to tell, but it's very tough when you get into the war field. I start every session of mine with the least expectation that I will get 100 people. I start my session, at least I'll have 5 people in my session today. Even yesterday, we started the same. There could be any reason why people may not join, but did you at least do your preliminary duty of branding or not? So branding is one of the most important area where people needs to be really strong. And we need to get right people to do this. Creativity is something different. We need to be creative in delivering the things. We need to be creative in talking to people. We need to be very, very creative in informing what exactly it is. So creativity, innovation, branding, all these things are the latest updates or latest terminologies which are needed for the existence of any individual in this industry. More and more management skills, Six Sigma. What is that Six Sigma? What is it's a quality factor. Like whatever I do, how much error free it is. Is it 99.99% error free? Are we delivering really that much? McKinsey 7S framework, if you look at this on Google, you'll find fantastic results. Those companies who have applied this framework have been really somewhere. A lot of motivation needed. People management, business development, proposal writing, all these are management skills. Today, the biggest challenge is every person who is passing out from an MBA with HR, marketing, and finance specializations are not able to deliver what exactly they need. I have completed internships for so many students, but especially only on technology lines. But on management lines, I had only very few people. Because when it comes to a real time working of management, there are a lot of things one needs to change. They cannot be the same old person what they were till yesterday. From today, they need to change. Innovative. Your skill should get some charisma for you. Your skill should improve some, your skills should make others to get motivated because of you. A lot of factors, lots. See, Potter's five forces. I mean, I really not sure how many of you heard of this, but if you look into this, you'll understand. Sales skill. If someone is into sales, these are some of the skills one needs to have. Customer relation management, buyer engagement, negotiation, public speaking. Today, the biggest concept is everyone is a public speaker. But the only problem is how effectively you are talking to people is the question. Are we really in a position to communicate with everyone? Is everyone ready to listen to us? Now, the another factor what comes as a challenge in a team, I'll tell you. Here there is again a teamwork. There's something called as a teamwork. Teamwork is in every profession. Even I'm facing a lot of challenges with the teamwork. I know I'll face it, but I don't have a choice. The reason is when you are in a team, remember this, when you are in a team, either be prepared to take the maximum painful learning to become the perfect person and get molded. Or if you just wanted to be a team member, don't even be a team member. If in some situations it is a forced thing that you need to change, that's it. Gaps that occurs in the team, they're really, really painful. And I've been experiencing with one of the teams since so many days. It is really paining. And then design skills, yes, those who are really good at designing. See, as a photography fellow, I use Photoshop. I use this Dreamweaver for some of my editings, photo editings and all. HTML and CSS, yes, if you are in HTML, that's really going to be one of those fantastic platforms. Okay. And that's really going to make a very big difference, because HTML, you just come up with a wonderful website. Even today I'm looking for someone who can design one of those best websites for me, a personal website for me. But I have seen a lot of designs which were not really up to the mark, right? So storyboarding is another design skill. Targeting and marketing through visual communications. Now I'm going to focus on this. How can I market myself? How can I do better visual communication? Attention to detail and aesthetics, color sense and theory. It always matches the sofa where I'm sitting, the background what I have, and the dress what I wear. Many people look at this combination. So how creative you are. Now it comes to the basic technical skills. You want to get into a very minimum job, one should know Microsoft Office, all those things what we see on the screen. And then paper management and filing. That is, if you should have that knowledge of, if you want to get into income tax returns and all, you should be good in that. Data entry, bookkeeping through Excel and TurboTax. Bookkeeping is, I mean, you can become a library management expert where you can start using some applications for books management. And also data analysis is a one core area where you can grow as a consultant if you are good at research aspect. Basic knowledge of user interface communication, technical writing, cloud networking and file sharing, Windows. Many of the students put on their profiles or resumes that I'm good with Windows XP, Windows 7, etc. But when you mention that, remember, what exactly are you really good at? Because when you're really good at it, then only you draft it on your resume. Because I asked many people many questions on Windows where they felt it is a common platform or just an operating system, but they could not answer a lot of questions. Accounting and finance, these are the skills you need: revenue recognition, anti-money laundering, general business knowledge, accuracy. I'm just trying to show the list of skills that are needed in every single profession. In education, if you are in education sector, as a teacher, trainer, everything, one should be very good with all these things: educational platforms, communication, research and data analysis, updated curriculum knowledge, technology and digital literacy, critical thinking. Teach your students something which is really useful for the future. Get them used on LinkedIn platform. Get them used to such platforms where we feel like, okay, I'm the best in this. As a teacher, you should also grow. Even today, I find many of the teachers talking to me and saying, how should I use Zoom? Zoom is not a rocket science. It's a very, very, very simple tool. Only thing, we just need to spend a time of 15 to 20 minutes and you can do it. It's a self-learning and we will be able to get it. Web development, if you want to become a web designer or a web security expert, you be good at JavaScript, WordPress, GUI, any graphical user interface like a .NET, .NET or HTML. You can be good at Adobe Photoshop, where you can design the background images or high definition images for this, and then testing for it. See, again, if you are into this, you need to learn testing. Even you may not be a complete testing expert, but one should be very much sure like how it should happen. So what are the testing things that we need to do? Now, business analytics, this is training what I'm doing currently for many students. I'm training the people on SPSS, Excel, R, all these things. There are other tools like big data tools like Hadoop. Okay. And then machine learning is the one where you can develop your own algorithms, agile, agile scrum, all these things. Business process modeling. Those who are into nursing, CPR is the most popular thing these days. Okay, CPR is one, and infection control. So this is for those who are into nursing. Now, under SLOT, we have completed S. What is L now? Learning. Simple. In a normal human understandable terminology, I can say learning is a process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behavior, skills, values, attitudes, and preferences. It's all about you learn everything. You get to know everything and you apply it. You just apply it, whatever you just got to know about. You learn the skills, you get to know about values, you get to know about attitude, you know the preferences, and apply it at the workplace wherever you are. So the ability to learn is possessed by humans, animals, and some machines. There is also evidence for some kind of learning in certain plants. So what exactly is that? A behavior, when we look at the behavior of a plant, there is a plant called touch me not. When you touch that particular plant, it will automatically fold, and after some time it will open. That is how it behaves, and it is actually naturally designed. So there are certain learnings that are being there, possessed by humans, animals. So even you can mold a tiger, you can help that to learn how to behave with humans, and you can just walk freely with any wild animal if you would like to. But what happens is you need to train them. You just need to train them. That's a different learning. Now, how does a future learning looks like? If at all, if I'm speaking about a learning here, how does that is going to look like? So this is how a future learning will look like. Traditional versus flipped focus. Earlier in the classes, teachers review homework and present a new content. Out of the class, students do homework and practice new learning. 35% students are centered and all these things. But when you look at this flipped focus, there are a lot of students. There are a lot of students who are out learning out of the class through video and technology, and the students started exploring the applications. Today, if you go to a CBSE school, you find students working on IoT, you find working on robotics, you see them working on very advanced skills. So why that is missing in many of the engineering students or any graduates? So are we really student centered? Like knowledge centered? Are we really focusing on it is a question. So the future is all going to be an online learning. We need to be prepared. These are some of the opportunities what we are going to get. SLO, coaching, learning through people. Coaches are very, very, very tough. They make you to learn on a tough line, but they'll help you to learn the right way. So if you want to learn something, look out for a coach who can help you to learn it in a way that you cannot even remember, forget it even after 10 years or 20 years or even for your lifetime. Challenging assignments are something which you learn when you're on the job. The moment you get into the job industry or when you're doing something, that's when you'll have challenges and you'll automatically start learning how to go with it. Then self study, that means self directed learning. There are certain areas where we learn the things on a self study mode where it's like you don't need someone's help, you'll do it by yourself. The last one is learning on the job again. I mean, job rotation or secondments. See, secondments is nothing but the temporary transfer to an official or worker to another position. If you are moved from one designation to another designation, one office to another office. So the rotation. So we learn different things. If you are sitting in one section in a class, if you are moved to a different section, you cannot behave the same way how you were in the previous section. So you will automatically start learning how to go with people in the other classroom. Technologies, advanced technologies, what are to be learned today are AI data scientist, information security analyst, CRS, that is computer research scientist, data analyst here, and then IT manager, web developer, computer hardware engineer, cyber forensic expert. These are some of the core areas which are really booming in the market and which will have the future for the next 10-20 years. Advanced PHP programming, Java developer who is again into advanced Java programming, mobile app developer. If you are good with network and system administration, you can work as a information security officer, network security officer. A lot of opportunities, my dear friends. The reason why I'm taking this session is tomorrow you are going to get from tomorrow various experts from various industries who will speak to you on all these factors. So blockchain, voice technology, analytics, cybersecurity, virtual reality, AI, ML, all these terms are very good to hear or good to know about. But how many of us are really ready with this? Blockchain is a one typical industry which deals with the financial security and also, you know, majorly deals with the financial area. Drones, yes, we have one friend who is working on drones, very advanced drone now. IoT in terms of smart homes, smart cities, smart security, and everything. Robotics, 3D printing, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, etc. So these are some of the areas which I wanted to discuss about today, and these are the focus areas for the industry now, where they are looking out for people who can really and seriously work on this. So try to share with all your friends. I'll share this video on PPT. Help them to know what are the skills that they need to learn, and try to get to see how many are going to be there in terms of learning all these and make a better career out of it. So that's all from my end, and it's open for discussion now. So there is a website called 123test.com, which will be used, I mean, which can be used for a self-assessment, which can be used for, knowing what exactly are you in terms of professional growth, and that will help you to have a great growth factor. So anything to discuss, any discussions, any points to be raised?
Just gratitude, sir, for your presentation and for your this enlightening the youth. That's it. Good job. You are doing a good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So my intention is to bring up more speakers and then put them on a platform where which actually helps the youngsters to learn a lot of things. All right. So that's what I'm just trying to do, sir.
Well done. Well done. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Amar sir, and Girdhar Garu. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here today with us. Thank you, Madam Komala, Madam. Thank you so much for your compliment. And yes, exactly, I'm trying to help the people to know what exactly what are the various skill sets that the industry is actually looking for, and that's my biggest area of working now. So as a part of this, I'm identifying various speakers and trying to help everyone to speak about it and help the student community. Anyone has something to say, they can unmute and they can speak out. Yes, ma'am, please, Komla ma'am, you can.
Hello, good afternoon to all the participants and Mr. Karthik and team.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am, please.
Actually, the requirement of today, you are taking care. So I appreciate and congratulate you for your initial efforts towards enlightening everybody as of the today's requirements are and future requirements.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your efforts are really wonderful, but I expect every participant to take seriously because it is the rarest of the rare opportunity to be enlightened, Everybody is not so fortunate.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
feel
ma'am.
everyone who is on the platform listening to you, if they are serious towards your presentation or your efforts in enlightening everybody, I think we can definitely work towards reducing the skill gap. Just attending is not going to get the results.
True,
We need
ma'am.
to work on and that positive attitude towards what is being presented, and with complete trust we'll have to get ready to work to get the results. I strongly feel it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely true. The basic thing is lacking is participation.
Yeah.
The first of all, most thing.
And even the people who participate, all of us, we need to really start experiencing the results by implementing.
True, true.
So just listening and saying nice and going out will not get us any kind of results.
Absolutely, ma'am.
So we need to start acting upon what is being discussed, what is being explained, where we have to take action, where we have to map and match all these things. In practice, we need to work.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to take efforts, I think.
True, true. Absolutely.
So I really feel so amazed that our Karthik is doing excellent job.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I feel so happy, that wherever our team members are, very contributive, productive work is being happening.
That's how we may become a team. Actually, I mean, that's the one motto because of which we are all brought into one team by JS sir, and we have been doing it without any interruption.
Yeah, sure.
No,
Yes,
no
sir.
matter how many are there, how many are coming in or not, but still we are doing our responsibilities.
Yes, a
We are delivering.
relentless work of contributing because we have a clear vision of our nation,
Absolutely, ma'am. So from JSR team itself, from tomorrow onwards, we have a Srikanth session.
Very good.
So we are scheduling one by one. We've actually came up with a new group in which I have added you also. So we are going to
Yeah.
have a series of industrial experts lectures, all the mentors who are going to take this forward on a better line. So I really seek your support and references from you. You can add them to a group, and we have
Definitely.
something in my mind to do something for the students. We don't know how extent they'll take it, but thanks for your support, ma'am.
Yeah, definitely. I personally feel so happy to be a part of this team.
Yes, ma'am.
And kindly excuse me for my irregular presence because this time we are working on starting 2 new junior colleges. I'm quite a
Wonderful.
bit busy with
No problem, ma'am.
recruitment process, and training programs are happening towards getting the entire team towards virtual classrooms.
Exactly.
So a bit busy with our regular activities as far as online
No worries,
education
ma'am.
is concerned. Yeah. So whenever I have possibility, I wouldn't miss your presentations. I
Sure,
love
sure,
being
ma'am.
a part.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
as a psychologist, as a edu entrepreneur, whatever I can contribute to the team's development, I would definitely offer my services.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you
and
so
nice.
much, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your words. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Komala ma'am. I'm Sangeeta. The words that you said were really true, and exactly that every participant must utilize this opportunity make their efforts come true, make their dreams come true in learning. And Karthik sir is a person who has a great vision in developing students, and I'm very glad to work with this sir. And thank you so much, ma'am. And I hope all the participants will utilize and make sure they fulfill their dreams and reduce the gap of in their skills.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta. Thanks for that. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much, my dear friends. And thanks for being here today. And see you all in tomorrow's session by Mr. Srikanth, the founder of InCube. And that's going to be an advanced topic. So any other discussions from your side? I'm ready for another 2 minutes. I can be here for another 1 or 2 minutes. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for your time, and have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Be careful from all this Corona time. Right. See you all. Bye-bye. Thank you, Sangeeta.